look at what I've done as a result of taking that opportunity to go to early college. So I think that is one of the challenges for children, for the students, in recruiting is getting them to understand. But oftentimes when they would come and do a site visit and get to meet with the student ambassadors and learn what the program's about from someone in their age range, that made a significant difference, I think, for students. As far as teachers are concerned, um, again, it was trailblazers, as is the sign behind your head. They were people that wanted to try something new, do something different. Initially, it was a little bit of a challenge because we weren't very well organized. Um, our first PE teacher, Miss Lee, came to me about a year into it and said, "Oh no, I don't even think it was that far into it. It was early." I said, "I'm not sure I can do this." And I said, "You got to stick with it. You got to stick with me, and let's see what we can do." So I think it's having teachers talking to new people that are doing the recruiting, the teachers doing the recruiting, and talking about what the experience and how it differs from any experience they may have had previously. New teachers coming in only have a little bit of experience, so they kind of know what it's like. They went to high school, but not necessarily what it feels like to teach there, other than their student teaching. So it's always nice to have their peers, new veteran teachers or new teachers, who can say, "Hey, why not come give this a chance with us?"
I love
And then
that.
most people come and stay.
Right. And why not? It's really cool as a teacher here. You get an idea, and 9 times out of 10, you can run with it. Uh, Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it feels like you have that support coming from administration. Take that chance, see what happens. And 9 times out of 10, it pays off. And so I'd like to also thank you for that and thank you for the opportunity to get to do that. Uh, in terms of trying to build culture at early college, how do you go about trying to do that? I mean, you have people from all over the county. There's no sports, there's no fine arts, there's none of the things that typically exist in that traditional high school experience. How do you work towards building culture in a brand new system?
Well, that's where we went into the advisory. We chose to do advisory and not just do advisory freshman year or do a freshman advisor class only. That it became not advisory, but my family, my school family, because it was they were going somewhere different where they didn't know a lot of people, had not met the we were not in their community where they might know the teachers from church or from their own family. So helping to build that family where they felt like they were in a place where they were supported, fairly secure, had a mentor there that was looking out for them, um, and then, building that advisory was a challenge too, because it was, well, we got them here. What are we going to do with them now? So that also was one of those things that grew in talking with staff and talking with kids, going out and hearing what advisories were doing. There were a group of us that went to San Francisco in, I want to say, 1998, and visited a school that had a stellar advisory program, and coming back and saying, "Okay, we can do this. We can make this work." And as you know, that advisory idea has grown from doing a lot of competitions with other advisories, from doing the recycling parade to any activity that needed to be done, and finding a way to make it fun and as well as rewarding for the kids. So I think that added to it. Adding in the community service piece of that was really important to me. I felt like that a lot of people in our community had come together and had this vision to have this school, that we at early college needed to show up and have our students become contributing citizens to our towns and our communities. And so helping students see how they could give back to the community, figuring out what was they were comfortable with and how they could do it in their own community, or sometimes transportation was an issue. timing was sometimes an issue for kids, but finding a way that they could feel like they were giving back to the community and making that a part of their life and building that empathy and caring for what's going on in their communities.
And that's also translated into some people finding careers, finding things that they otherwise wouldn't have known even existed. Uh,
I have a experience I can share with you.
sure.
One of our graduates from the 2013 class, Katie Dulett
Hmm.
Wise, who now works with United Way,
Yep.
and she put out a call for people to come and serve on the Education Vision Council at the United Way. So for the past 3 years, I've had the opportunity to serve under Katie on the Education Vision Council at United Way, and it's been
Love
a
it.
really fun and I just admire her so much in the work that she does and how connected she is to this community. So
No, she's absolutely great. She's come and taught to my leadership classes a couple of times. Uh, just had a baby too. Yay,
she
baby.
did, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I love that, and I really like this too. I mean, this is year 15 for me here, and I was sitting at a Relay for Life meeting last night, and it's our last one before our event on April 12th. Uh, and I actually had three early college graduates in kind of our inner circle. I was like, how cool is this? Like to have instilled that
Yeah,
kind of culture in them to where they want to still be involved and make a difference. It's just really cool to have, and they were spread out too. It's not like they were all one class; they were really spread out. But just really cool to get to work with kids that have developed that love for helping and doing good things in the community. We have a lot of them for sure. Important question, Joan. Spring fling, kickball,
kickball.
kickball. Are we or are we not, as faculty and staff, undefeated as far as you know?
If I taught them correctly and gave them the correct lessons on how to win kickball against a bunch of kids, then they are still number one.
Well, thank you. That's what we've been saying. That is what
Okay,
we have gone
keep it
with for
up, keep it
years.
up. That's
We
important.
don't play anymore, so now it's just become legend. Uh,
Oh,
we've
really? You don't
gotten a
play
little,
anymore?
we've gotten older.
Uh,
I'm
no
not going out there,
excuses.
Joan. I'm not going out there.
No excuses. No excuses.
Almost went down with a knee injury. That's hard to explain to the
Okay.
wife.
Well, then you take the role that I had
Yeah,
as aggravator,
rule keeper,
intimidator,
right?
rule keeper, and changer,
Changer,
and as well
modifier.
as distractor. Distractor. And remember, the girls will stop what they're doing when the ball is kicked to pose to have their picture made. So remember that strategy.
That's awesome. That is funny. All right, so what are you most proud of? We're closing in on the 15th graduating class. What are you most proud of as you look back at the program? And you've been back to the building, you've been back to the school a number of times, you even filled in for us for a little while. What are you most proud of about the program?
I, my pride is these young people that finished the school. I noticed in talking to some and seeing some online that they don't just graduate and go to work. They continue to seek educational opportunities to whether they're getting a master's degree, advanced certification in their technology. We have one that just got a doctorate degree, and they see themselves as lifelong learners. That they are unstoppable, and I think that really makes me proud. We have a number of graduates that are teaching around the district, some that have moved into instructional coach roles, so they are picking up leadership roles in the schools where they are. They're serving as leaders in their schools. They're teachers of the year. We have policemen, we have firemen, we have nurses. And the list goes on of what the kids are doing, and that's the pride I feel that these young people have not only met the challenge and opportunities of being at early college and being an early college student and getting their degree or their technical certification, um, but they've gone on and they're they're contributing citizens to our community, which was our goal.
Well, on behalf of all of them and everyone here still, uh, I just have to express our thanks to you uh, for getting this thing going in the way that you did. Uh, a lot of programs they don't work out, or that they kind of just serve their short-term purpose and that's it. This is really a sustainable thing, and I mean the kids are everywhere, and because of how Horry County's set up, the kids are all throughout the county. I mean, you can't go anywhere without running into them. You'll be like, oh, here's my Chick-fil-A order, and there are 12 Trailblazers right there. And those are just the current kids. Uh, but you really went above and beyond. You went to all those school board meetings. You did so much to make sure that this was something that could remain here, and we are eternally grateful for it. Thank you.
Well, I will take a teeny little bit of that credit, but you've got to give a lot of credit to the people that you work with right there in that building because they have sustained it. Demetrius Williams, started with us as an avid teacher, and now she's back in a principal's position. Miss Fleming, who was there as an assistant principal and a principal. The teachers, you yourself, you've been there for year 15 out of, I'm trying to think how many, 2006. So it's almost 19 years, yeah, 18 years, 18 years, I guess. And you still got Miss Thompson was there on day one. Brian Herndon was there on day one, and have been and stayed with the school. You've got excellent instructors there. I mean, they are top of the line. You can't beat it. I watched your interview last night with the South Carolina Teacher of the Year for 2024. She was there with us. What did she say? She was with us for 6 years,
5 years.
5 or 6 years. So yeah, and she was every bit of that. You pat yourself on the back, pat Mr. Pally on the back. Miss Rotsaw has been there almost as long as you, maybe longer than you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and some of our teachers that have retired that I know that I see every once in a while. I had a chance to have lunch with Miss Marlowe recently and
Nice.
catch up with her and what she's been doing in retirement. But it really is a credit to you, the staff, the faculty and staff there at Horry Georgetown Tech that continues to let the kids come and thrive and get their degrees and go off and be successful in life. So, but thank you for that.
Love it. All right, that'll be the last question because I gotta do lunch duty here in a second. Let me stop the recording. Talk to you a couple more minutes. This was good.
Okay.